Your palm is facing the sky. The long side comes out of the thumb, and you're gonna move your cane forward, pulling back after it goes forward. Try not to hit yourself in the head. The purpose of this warm-up spin is to build some callus on your hands. It's to get your heart rate up a little bit. It's also to start to build timing and distance, spatial awareness. It helps you with proprioception, and later it becomes a very simple way to hit somebody with your cane for self-defense, to get them out of your face, to get them off your body with a basic spinning motion. So you're gonna warm up like this each time you train with your cane. You train with your cane at home, the garage, in the house, the backyard, in the alleyway, and then when you need it, you can take it with you everywhere you go. In this video, we're gonna talk about confined spaces, like on a bus, waiting for the bus, in a train, on a plane, where you don't have a lot of room to move, how you can defend yourself. So we're gonna add some of those in after we get this warm-up done. After you spin it on one side for about 30 seconds, you're gonna come over and back in front of your body, making this figure 8 motion. As you're doing this, the cane is moving, spinning in your hand. And again, this becomes a striking motion when you need it for self-defense. So you wanna practice this, you wanna keep it tight, always keep the stick between you and the threat. As you do this, I like to think of it as a slap across the face followed by a backhand for self-defense if you need to. After 30 seconds here, put in the other hand. Same kind of thing, the long side of your cane comes out of your thumb. If you do it the other way, it's not gonna spin very far. That's how you know you're doing it wrong. Just switch it to this hand. Now you can do this standing, you can all do this when seated in a chair. And I brought a chair, it's not a very good chair, it's a camping chair. But I wanna show you some of those seated techniques. You can do this spin while you're sitting down. So if you're not able to stand, don't stand, do it sitting down. Hello, bearded gentlemen's here, it's good to see you. So you're gonna do this spin, 30 seconds later, you're going over and back, making your figure 8 with the other side. You're always gonna do the same amount of training on one hand as the other hand, so you can fight ambidextrously in case you ever need it. After you do that for 30 seconds, you're going to practice a different kind of spin, and this is to build power in your forearm, to improve your grip so that when you strike, you have more speed, more power, less likely to come out of your hand. So you're gonna hold your hand up a little bit from the crook. You're gonna go forward and around, forward meaning down toward the floor, back around to the outside of your body. And then you're gonna bring it to the inside of the body. And then you're gonna go into that figure 8 motion again. And again, this is gonna improve the speed of your strike. Don't go fast at the beginning. If this is too hard, slow it down. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You just want to improve your flexibility. Notice that your hand is closed. You're not doing this. The cane will fall out of your hand. He'll pick it up and smack you with it for self-defense. You'll lose, it won't work. This is simple self-defense moves for seniors using a walking cane. In this case, I'm using the Cane Masters walking cane. Some of you have seen these before. Put a link in the description if you need to see how much they cost, what they're made out of. They're all different kinds. This is a basic, super simple entry level. Practice in the garage. This is fancier, lots of more features. Made out of hickory, very solid, very hard. But they both will get the job done. You can use any kind of walking cane for self-defense. 30 seconds later, put it in the other hand. Do your basic warm-up spin. This is another one you can do while you're seated in your chair. So you might have a physical limitation, but don't let it stop you. You can also practice. I like to practice from time to time when I'm teaching you. We'll get the chairs out. Even if you don't need a chair, we'll practice sitting so that when you need to defend yourself, you're familiar with how the cane moves from a seated position. You can be sitting here and he can walk up and you can lift this up very quickly, smashing him between his legs. You can bring your hand down, holding it here. As he comes in, you can lift this straight up, smashing under his chin, and then lift it up, and then chop forward. You can do all of that, and then help yourself get up and out of the chair. My hip's been killing me, so I've been using my cane a little bit more this week than I normally do. as my arthritis continues to grind. And I have a date now on the calendar. Hey Cash, it's good to see you for another hip replacement. So I got this one done last year. This is the next one we're gonna do, and then I'll be back on the cane for that recovery period full time. But in the meantime, I'll be using this as we get closer and closer to that date, because this thing's been on fire lately. All right, so we have our spins done, warm up. Other ways you can use the cane to improve your strength as you're older. This is simple self-defense for seniors. Building power in your legs is very important. If you're still able to walk, or if you can walk assisted, and you can do assisted squats, all you're doing is putting the cane in front of you at an angle, throw your butt back behind your knees, take some of the weight off your legs, and start to improve the mobility in your legs. And the next thing you can do is hold the cane in front of you and step sideways and start to work on your lateral movement. Lateral movement gets you out of the way. Hey Drake, Drake says good practice. Orion, it's good to see you. Ryan says he appreciates these. Being able to move to the side, or even better, into the side at an angle, or back into the side when the attack is coming. As you step to the side, you can strike very simply, very powerfully. He goes by, he misses you, and you smash him in the hand or in the temple for self-defense. So we get that mobility back if we've lost it, leaning on the cane and doing your steps, going from one side to the other side. Or you could even start to do that triangle step where you step in, think of making a V on the floor, step up, back to your starting point. It's the same thing I teach you if you're boxing. Hey Studer, it's good to see you. We're going over some simple self-defense techniques for seniors using your walking cane. Jim says, love your work, Matt. Thank you. Not a senior, but you're a disabled vet. As you know, when you go to the VA, half the guys there who have all kinds of injuries, I name it, right? All the injuries that we have, and you're not necessarily a senior. I don't consider myself a senior, although I'm a year away from the golden age. Thank you, Studer, for that super chat. I really appreciate that. But to your point, you can be a disabled vet, you could have a car accident, you could have a degenerative disc, you could have a genetic condition from birth. You have any reason to use a cane. You might not even need the cane yet, you might use it later, but you see it as a perfect gray man option. So that means you can carry it with you wherever you go. You can take it into the courthouse, you can take it onto the bus, onto the train, onto public transportation, in through the airport, onto the plane, and then always have that self-defense tool with you. And it's a big stick with a beautiful hook on the end, and that, hey Jim, good to see it, that beveled edge there that can rip the flesh, pull the eye out of his head, his teeth out of his mouth for self-defense. So let's go over some basic strikes, simple self-defense moves for seniors. First thing we have you do, holding the cane just like you normally would with the crook facing back, you're going to bend your knees as you slide your hand down, and then you're gonna lift it up. If you need a cane to walk, if you're disabled or your mobility is limited so much that if you pick that cane up, you're gonna fall to the floor and he's gonna stomp you into the ground. Don't pick it up until you have another one in the other hand that you can lean into, then slide it down, pick it up. And the first thing we're gonna do is this angle coming off of the shoulder strike. And then you're gonna follow it with an angle from the other side. And as you practice these angular strikes, you wanna start from your shoulder and not out from here. If you're out here, your arm's gonna wrap around him, you'll never hit him. If you're here, he's gonna run into you, you're gonna run the stick through his face for self-defense. Maybe he's reaching out with that hand, you're gonna smash his hand. Maybe he's got a knife in it, you're gonna smash that hand, break the wrist, break the forearm, break the elbow, strike him on the side of the head, knock him out, turn off his operating system for self-defense. So this is the first angle down, you're gonna turn your palm up, bring the angle up, angle up, angle up. You might reach down here, he's coming in so fast, that's all you can get out, is that first striking coming up because you practiced it. And if you needed to, you leaned in the other one while you practiced it. You didn't fall down, but he just hit the deck when you took his knee out, or you broke his ribs, or you knocked that hand out of there right before he hit you with it. You smashed his arm, then followed through, bringing it back down across his jaw, knocking him out for self-defense. So we practice 2 angulars down, 2 angular strikes up, a horizontal coming across with your palm facing the sky, so that when you run into resistance, like the side of his head for self-defense, it runs into your palm and you don't lose it. If your hand's in the wrong direction, you bring it this way, you run into something, your finger's gonna pop off, just like the Kung Fu grip. When we were kids, we had the G.I. Joe, the Kung Fu rubber grip. I always remember that sound of it when he pulled things out of his hands, his K-bar fighting knife. So you come across, come back, down on top. So that series of strikes. And if you have 2 canes that you're practicing with, you can lean on the other one now. Slide this hand down. So you have the 2 angles down, 2 angles coming up. You have a horizontal strike, bringing it back the other way, and then straight down on top. So that's the first set of simple self-defense strikes with your walking cane. The next thing, I'm gonna put this one back. Let me talk about this real quick. It's called a palm rest. You've asked me many times, is palm rest worth it? Why is it there? Is it, where did it come from? What's it for? Cane masters came up with this concept years ago. I think it was probably Grandmaster Shui, who created the whole, he didn't create cane self-defense. Cane self-defense has been around for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, I don't know. Hitting somebody with a stick has been around since the beginning of dawn, the dawn of mankind, whatever. Hitting people with sticks and rocks. This piece here, push like this. Strideborn Speckseite says, hey, hello from Germany, great channel. Thank you, I really appreciate you being here. You can lean into that. That takes some of the pressure, especially when you turn this crook facing out in an ergonomic way. You can use that palm rest. So that palm rest is very good on your wrist. Hey Tori, good to see you. It helps to spread your weight out, right? The other thing it does is it creates a new striking surface. So it increases the striking surface there. It also becomes a striking, turn it here, almost like a hatchet, right? Or think about putting that into his eye for self-defense, into his nose, into his teeth. That can become extremely effective, especially when we start talking about the confined spaces here in a minute, when I'm sitting in that chair and I'm waiting for the bus and he's coming down on top of me, trying to pound me into the seat. I can bring this straight up, smashing him. Hey, Miser's here from Nashville. We're gonna be in Nashville sometime in July. Smashing up, maybe his tongue comes flying. Summertown. We go to Nashville. Our family has a house right next to Vanderbilt. Beautiful. Nashville's gorgeous. But we will go say hello, hugs and kisses, have dinner, and then go out to the cabins out south of Franklin. Gorgeous. Love Nashville. But I don't want to be there. I don't want to go down Broadway. All the women in the boots. If you've been to Nashville, you know what I'm talking about. Every conveyance imaginable. Buses, 5 tons, deuce and a halves, tractors pulling thing, and all these ladies in there celebrating, I don't know what, but what do they call that? When the women get together before they get married. Some kind of, showers, bridal parties, or whatever they are. And they're all wearing big cowboy hats and boots and their jean skirts and just making a mess. So we stay away from that. That and the number of homeless people that have exploded downtown Nashville. It's a good reason to carry one of these for self-defense. Yeah, the woo girls at the bachelorette parties. There you go. I knew there was a term, and I was missing it. I have different guests that come in every week from an agency to my campus where I work. And some of them come out of Nashville, and we talk about that all the time. The woo girls, I forgot that term. Bachelorette parties, and they're doing woo-hoo. Anyway, they're having a good time. Nothing wrong with that. All right, but it's amazing to me all the different vehicles that they convert into these party buses. It used to just be buses. Now it's like anything you can imagine. We'll talk about this more in a minute. Sorry about that. Get distracted. I gave you my first set, which are the basic strikes, angle strikes, what you might do with a short sword or a long sword, what you might do with a collie stick or a screaming stick, how you could use it that way. Now, I'm going to show you with the crook facing backward or forward. This works either way, and I feel like it's stronger when it is facing him, right? The bad guy, or the group of people. It might be multiple attackers you have to defend yourself with. As a senior, learning simple self-defense moves for seniors with your walking cane. The long side coming out of the pinky side of the arm extends all the way up into the shoulder, making it easier to lean into. And then again, if you had that palm rest at the back, that makes it even more effective. From here, I'm gonna lift it just straight up, like I'm reaching out my hand in brotherly love, except he's coming at me with a knife. So instead, I'm gonna smash that knife right out of his hand, or maybe catch him in the groin as he steps in, or catch him up under the chin. And I'm gonna turn my palm here and bring it down on the top of his head for self-defense. And this big, long piece, this one's oak, the other one's hickory. I recommend hickory if you're gonna get one. Look at the link in the description for Cane Masters. But you bring it up here, you bring it down on the top of his head. And that's that warm-up spin that we started with. That's why I feel like this is so important to practice this motion every time you pick up your walking cane as a warm-up, so that when you're ready to, this motion here, or think about coming across and back, striking into his knees, or into his body, into his neck, or into his temple for self-defense, and just over and back. And it's almost, if you've ever used the Japanese tonfa, or the side handle baton, the PR-24, if you're in law enforcement or the military, the one that I used to carry when I was a military policeman in the Marine Corps, it's that swinging motion, and then all that leverage. And it's not just the stick that has the leverage. Think about where it starts from, the center of your body, rotating through your shoulders and hips around that spine, and then bringing that with your arm fully extended out and back. It's gonna have so much force, it's gonna stop a lot of people. And again, you might wanna do it to the knees, you might do it to the body, you might go to the head. The question that you ask yourself is, what can I remove or destroy? Which comes from Tim Larkin's book, When Violence is the Answer. And his concept is using violence against violence. So they're coming to you, they're trying to take your life, your dignity, your freedom. They're trying to hurt you, crush your windpipe, stab you to death, beat you to death, do horrible things to you, to your family, to your child, to your grandchild, and you're not gonna let it happen. And they're using that violence to try to make their will imposed on you. You're gonna use your violence to stop them. And this becomes a very violent strike. When you answer that question, what can I remove or destroy? And you say, I'm gonna knock him out. He's coming out with either the knife, I'm going to hit him in the temple or the side of the head or into the neck so hard that the brain gets a signal to go to sleep. I'm gonna turn off his operating system. He comes one step closer, that may be your target. Or maybe it's his ability to walk and to come after you, so you're gonna take out his knee. Or his ability to breathe, you're gonna crack his ribs. Or it's that hand reaching out with that knife, or trying to choke, or trying to hit you with a bat, or one of those expandable batons. Maybe it's smashing the bones and breaking the bones in his arm, because this will compress flesh and break bones. Hey, G. Carlton, it's good to see you. But that's the motion, swinging. You have the handshake down on top of his head. You have the horizontal strikes. Then you have vertical strikes, or diagonal strikes, where it's very quick, very explosive, very fast, catches him off guard, bringing it up, bringing him down, maybe hit that hand, knock that hand out of the way, the knife goes flying, and come back down, across the side of his head, knock him out for self-defense. And if you need to, you can be leaning against one, because if you picked it up and fell to the ground, start to walk with two, you go into a neighborhood where you don't feel safe, you don't feel comfortable, then don't worry about what you look like. Go for the self-defense, double cane, right? One cane to lean into, one cane to strike with. And then just practice it so that you're familiar with it, you're ready to use it. So those are the spinning strikes. The next kind, you can either bend the knees like we did before and slide your hand down. This reminds me of the Irish shillelagh. Hey, Cornholio, it's good to see you. Thank you, I appreciate that. He said the streams never seem to get old. I was thinking, someone asked me recently, what do you do if you're confined to like a chair on a bus? And we're gonna get to that here in a minute. I've got the chair here, but I wanted to go over the basics first. And the first thing, so when you slide your hand, you can either slide your hand down and pick it up, or pick it up like this. Now the reason we do all these spins, but develop the callus in the hand, but also get that feel for it, right? The proprioception, your brain in the fingers. So from here, and you're like, hey, back up, you're too close, don't come any closer, I'll defend myself. He keeps coming, and then you smash him 2, 3, 4, 5 times with this jab, just like a boxer's jab in his face, right? You can jab him, you can uppercut him, you can bring him straight up under his chin, you can bring it across the side and hit him with a hook punch, just like you're a boxer smashing the side of his face. Then you can turn your wrist like that, twisting through that spine to create all that power, the hips and the spine, and now the long side of the stick comes across, smacking him in the head, knocking him out, up under the chin, coming down at an angle, up at an angle, coming from this position here. You also have the ability to throw it to the other hand and then almost use it like a rifle strike, like you have your bayonet attached to your M16 or your M4, and you're pushing through here. You can chop it down like you're a firefighter, chopping through the door to get the babies, to save them, get them out into the street so they don't burn to death. Maybe that's chopping him into his neck, and then once you get in there, dig in there, rip, because that's going to do some damage for self-defense. And again, it's What Can I Remove or Destroy? Tim Larkin's book, When Violence is the Answer. If you haven't read it, I put the link in the description. It's the best book on self-defense. Yeah, Kaiser City, he's got his and hers Shadowhawks. Those are awesome, beautiful, beautiful canes. So you're here, strike, hook, uppercut, use the long side, twisting this way, twisting up, throw in the other hand, use it as a two-handed striking tool, step in, smash the teeth down his throat for self-defense, box his ears, chop into his thigh, that big knuckle, think about a big fist there, but also that tooth, down into his thigh and a rip, or create some resistance, holding, then let it swing and go down to his calf or down to his ankle. Imagine that, digging into somebody's meaty calf, and then put the other hand back on it, rip, watch him fall to the ground. All simple ways that you can use your Cane Master self-defense cane for seniors, for disabled vets, for anybody who wants a good gray man, gray woman option that works exceptionally well. So you can also put it back in the traditional way, crook facing behind you. Remember we did this, we bent down from here. You can also lift it up, let it slide, or you can bend down, point your thumb, keep it low. A lot of times when we would practice with the police baton, and you're practicing for riots, right? So you got a bunch of guys online, shoulder to shoulder. You got your riot gear on, you got your shin pads, you got your helmet, you just got your spit guards, so they're not spitting in your face. And you have your longer baton, put it in two hands and you keep it low, bend your knees a little bit so your center of gravity drops, making you harder to move back. And then you step front foot, back foot, front foot, back foot. Online, right? There's a cadence and everybody's moving together. But then your goal is to put the tip of that right into the part between his belly button and his private parts, is that thin fascia of muscle that holds your guts in. When it gets torn, it looks like a fist sometimes sticking out there under your skin. They call that a hernia. So from here, I put it here, I just jab, step, my whole body weight's behind it as I come in, and then you can change your angle. Now stick it through his solar plexus, remove his ability to breathe temporarily. Or if it's life or death, the throat. Remove his ability to breathe permanently. Again, Tim Larkin's book, Violence is the Answer, it's in the description. From here up to the face, maybe stick it through his face. Turn it, smash, box the ears, smash the top of his head, lift this hook up into his coccyx, between his legs, pull. That'll stop most people. That might move him back out of your face a little bit. When you say, I will defend myself, I'll defend my family, I'm gonna defend my child, don't you come closer to my grandchild, let my grandchild, and then you have to defend yourself, you have to take action. Now if you can get out of there, get out of there. Run if you can run, don't be there if you can, use situational awareness, pay attention. I'm talking about life or death, your life, your death, your freedom, your family, your grandchild, learning, taking back what we should take back, right? Our freedoms to live and thrive, right? And some thug punk group of people, bad people come to take it from you. How do we defend ourselves? Now let's talk about public transportation or anytime. I'm gonna lower the camera, so you need to close your eyes so you don't get nauseous. There we go. Hey Tony, it's good to see you. Tony says, salute, thanks for the training tips. We'll bring the chair back in. I'm gonna go a little bit lower. One more time with the camera, I'm gonna change the angle. There we go. And again, my hip's been killing me. I'm gonna use it to get down and get up. So we started with our spins, and I told you You can do the spins from a seated position, all the basic spins. So if you are confined to a chair, don't let that stop you. And I know some of you use a chair and also have a cane with you as you're using your chair, and your cane is for self-defense. It's a perfect self-defense tool, right? And then if you can get up, you have limited mobility, you do use the cane to move, from chair to chair or different places where you have to be on your feet, and then you sit back down in your chair, but you got your cane with you for self-defense. Now, if you're seated, whether you're sitting on a bench, waiting for the bus, waiting for the train, the metro, whatever, or if you've already boarded the plane, you have your cane with you because it went through TSA, and these will go through TSA, they'll give them back to you on the other side, and someone's being very aggressive, someone comes on top of you, and you're fighting in this tight, confined space, you can't get up on your feet. These are some things you can do to defend yourself. So the first thing is, you can turn your cane sideways, right? And push this way. And you can push them off of you a little bit, but this is not as effective as if you keep it in the vertical. Now I'm going to show you why. This feels strong when you're doing push-ups, but this feels a lot stronger when he's coming in and his body's on top of you and he's trying to come in and smash you and hit you, whether it's his hand or whatever. And you have to ask the question. We got to go back to Tim Larkin. I was thinking of Tony Blauer. Tony Blauer's got the great self-defense, spirited self-defense, excellent stuff. But Tim Larkin's book, When Violence is the Answer, you ask yourself the question, take a breath, what can I remove or destroy? Because it's always going to be different depending on the situation. Now that we're seated, he's coming at you from the front. We'll talk about from the back in a second. He's coming at you from the front. What can I remove or destroy? And you see his groin, is wide open. Your two hands are here. This comes straight up, right between his legs. Now that it's up, that should move him back enough for you to shove it into some of the soft tissue in the center of his body, whether that's his stomach, his solar plexus, his diaphragm,